Darren, it's interesting. I was just spotting that the Shadow Foreign Secretary, David Lammy, who's speaking to Chatham House today, was actually supporting Boris Johnson's trip and his comments.
Yeah, indeed. There's definitely a sense that the former Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, that when he has become, or wants to continue being in many ways, Mark, the main advocate for Ukraine, not just here in the UK, but it must be said right across Europe as well. He feels that this is the mantle of his legacy that he wants to carry on, given the fact that clearly he and others think there could well be a spring offensive, another concerted push, if you like, by Russia in eastern Ukraine. And so he's making the argument that the West needs to do more. Now, frankly, I think you're right in suggesting that Labour and indeed Rishi Sunak's government are on the same page as Boris Johnson largely on all of this. The UK is one of the few countries at the moment supplying tanks. Clearly Boris Johnson slightly aggrieved by the fact that other European countries aren't following suit thus far, and this has all got to do with Germany and its Leopard tanks. We know that other countries such as Poland do want to do so, but they need the say-so of Germany because that's where the tanks were manufactured, though it looks like today there is going to be movement on all of that. But yes, interestingly, right in the front page of the Daily Mail today, Boris Johnson trying to kind of gee everyone up, if you like, saying, you know, this is pretty serious. Ukraine is on the front line of this war between, effectively, he would say, Russia and the rest of Europe, or indeed the Western world. That's why they need their support. And on this idea of escalation, something that Germany's repeatedly talked about, a fear that this could escalate into an all-out war, Boris Johnson says, don't talk to me about escalation or the risk that we somehow would provoke Putin by increasing our support to some fresh horror. Will they really use a battlefield nuclear weapon? Really, I don't believe that for a second. Yeah. It is a brutal and unprovoked attack on a blameless European country, and all of Ukraine's friends are doing this to help that country defend itself. So as I say, he views this very much as his legacy as Prime Minister. He was in Ukraine just a matter of days ago, met with President Zelensky. He is determined not to give up effectively this campaign for the West to do more.